Hello class, today I'm going to be walking us through this atomic structure worksheet and kind of how the expectations and kind of how to do it. So to get started, you should have the atomic structure document open and you should have a periodic table handy. If you need one, you can click and download this periodic table and also find them in the materials under the Google Classroom. So to get started with this, let's do helium together. So we can find helium on the periodic table, go into the top right corner, and we'll notice there's two numbers with the symbol. So the symbol is He, we have helium, and then we have the number 2, which is the atomic number, and then the number 4.0026, but we're going to round it to 4, which is the atomic mass. So those two numbers have been filled into this chart for us because we can find them on there. Atomic number 2, atomic mass 4, but how do we find protons, neutrons, and the electrons? So protons and neutrons, they are really heavy when compared to electrons. So when we're talking about the atomic mass, we're always looking at protons and neutrons. So how do we find the number of protons? Well, this has to do with the identity of the element, and it's always going to be the atomic number. So looking on helium, it is atomic number is number 2. That means it has 2 protons. So the atomic number is always going to be the same as the number of protons. Number of neutrons, since it's in the nucleus with the protons, they actually have mass, and protons plus the neutrons is equal to the mass number. So protons plus neutrons is equal to mass number. How do we figure out how many neutrons does helium have? We're just going to take the mass minus 2. How many do we have left over? 2. So 2 neutrons plus 2 protons equals 4 for our atomic mass. And then number of electrons, if we have a neutral atom, which we do, it's just helium, everything should balance out. So electrons have a negative charge, protons have a positive charge. We should have the same amount of electrons as we do protons. So that's also going to be number 2. Use your periodic table to fill out the rest of these blank spots for these 10 elements here. And for the last 5 here, 11 through 15, you're going to just pick elements that you want and fill out the chart for them. So if you want to do like gold, AU, you would write the symbol as AU, 79 is the atomic number, and then the atomic mass we are going to round up to 199. All right. For this next part, we are going to be building atoms in this little interactive here from Discovery Education. So we're just going to click on that and it should bring us to a new page where we can look at this little activity. And let me know if this doesn't work for you, but I've been testing it with other students and it has been working. So you're just going to click Use Resource. And this is explaining to you what the different parts are. So you're going to be dragging neutrons and protons to the nucleus, adding electrons, and kind of building different atoms. You can choose an element that you want to build, or you can have it randomized, or you can work your way through the different elements. So let's work on building helium. So that's the first atom, has 1 proton because that's the atomic number. So we're going to add 1 proton. Meaning we don't have to add a neutron because the atomic mass is 1 also, so they have to balance out. And then for it to be equal and neutral, we're going to add 1 electron. See, we got a green check. We did good. Go to the next one. Helium, see how it's not green anymore? Well, our atomic number is 2, so we need 2 protons. And our mass is 4, so how many neutrons do we need to balance that out? We need 2, and then to balance out our electrons, we need to make sure there's 2 there. So that's how you do it. And each time you make an atom that is on the worksheet, so for instance, it asks you to do helium, you're going to just take a screenshot so you can go Control Print Screen, and then paste it onto the worksheet over here. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like here shortly.